Good morning, y'all. It's good to see you. Today I've traveled over to Greenville, Georgia. Greenville is a beautiful little small town here in Georgia. A little history about Greenville, very little, but history nevertheless. Greenville was established or built in 1828, and that beautiful courthouse that you see right there is not the original. The original was destroyed by a tornado in 1893, and that one was built in 1903. We're going to take a walk around here and look at some of these buildings, check it out, see what Greenville has to offer. It's an amazing little town. The buildings are just fantastic. So stick with me. Let's take a look, see what's here. Now, I don't know, a lot of traffic here. I don't know anything about architectural style. I don't know what was period, but I do know that these buildings are original to the town when it was built in 1828. Now, that now is an art gallery. That is a fantastic building. That is unreal. Isn't that beautiful? One thing I like the feeling of when I walk around these small towns and these buildings that have been here for hundreds of years, this town almost 200 years, you're walking in the footsteps or in the same thing. You're looking at the same buildings that people looked at 200 years ago, 100 years ago. And I know anywhere you travel or you walk, you're basically walking in somebody else's footsteps from the past. But what's different about a small town to me is the sense of connection I get, because I know that what I see, what I'm looking at, these buildings, although they may have changed businesses, which they've been a lot of things over the years, a lot of different businesses have been there, they are still the same building. And maybe I'm weird, maybe I'm strange, I don't know, but that just gives me a sense of connection with the people from the past. And I know, like if you're walking in a field or in a forest or whatever, that landscape will have changed. A field may have been a forest may now be a field. So that has changed. But this has not changed. Some things and aspects have changed, but the buildings themselves are still the same buildings. Anyway, that's enough rambling from an old man. Let's just take a look at some of these buildings. Look at the style. Now, that building right there has a date of 1920 on the top. Now, all these ice cream bars. Nothing is open this morning. It's very early Saturday morning, an unusually chilly morning. Also, the wind is. This truck get by. The wind is blowing pretty hard, and it's about 50 degrees. So it's uncommonly cold for what it's been being. It's been being a lot warmer, but it's a cool day. But we'll make the best of it. Just look at that building. Look at the styling across the top. And sorry about all the traffic, but downtown is basically, it's just a roundabout. So the entire town is centered around the courthouse. Everything is facing the courthouse. So it's just one huge roundabout with it venturing off into the roads that go to different towns. But let me step out here over to the courthouse area so we can just get a good view of the buildings behind me, and I can stop talking quite so much. Just look at those buildings. Man, I tell you that, I don't know. And right there, they've built a business in, looks like, in between two buildings where it was an alleyway. And that's what I call making best use of space. But now look at that, look at the style. I mean, and just think these buildings have been here for, 100 plus years, 200 years. Walk around probably need to get out of the street here, but a nice little surprise there with the chimes on the courthouse. But yeah, we'll walk around and take a look at the town square here, and then we'll walk around maybe on the outside and take a look at some of the other outlying buildings, some of the homes. Now that's a beautiful church right there, right here on the square. Greenville Methodist Church. Now, isn't that a beautiful building? I don't know the date on that building, but it is absolutely amazing. This courthouse is just, I'm in awe of this courthouse. It's just, wow. Like I say, it's undergoing a major renovation. I'm not sure what all they're doing to it, but I guess a restoration, I assume. That's been going on for quite a while. I've been through here a few times, and the scaffolding has been there for quite some time. The Greenville City Hall. I'm going to go back over here and take a look at this art gallery again. There's also a mural here. Take a look at that. Step back across here. We're going to look at this mural. Going down this street, here's some more. Some of the buildings are not quite as old. I don't think they've been added or what have you, but still, that building, the way they have it painted too, is just beautiful. Yeah, there's a sign that says art gallery, so I assume that it is. First African-American mayor, Richard D. Hill, 1973 to 1983. George Jenkins, founder of Publix. I guess he was from here. Huh. And it's Greenville's in close proximity to FDR Little White House. It's not very far away, probably just a few miles down the road. So it's in close proximity of quite a few things that historical sites. We'll look at that building, and we'll kind of walk around a little bit. I may have changed my battery. I didn't realize my battery was so low. All right, I got a fresh battery, so let's take a look. Walk on around here and see what else we have. I love that pine down there, that sugar pine. That is beautiful. Walk down there and get a closer look at that. Mama's Home Cooking. I don't think that's Mama's Home Cooking anymore, but it says keep out. No, definitely not Mama's Home Cooking. Looks like that overhang was built later, and they covered up those archways, those beautiful archways that are over the windows. And it looks like this whole building was converted into a church at some point. I don't think it is anymore. I don't think any either is used anymore. Looks like on the sidewalk here, people had the pavers dedicated to certain people in memory of and what have you. Several of these along the sidewalk here. Down here, look at this beautiful pine tree down here. That's a beautiful tree. I don't know how old it is. And also those are really nice as well. I wish something was open. Give me a cup of coffee, because it is chilly this morning. You know, when it goes from 80 degrees to 50 degrees, it's quite a drastic change. It's hard to get used to it. Hard to adjust. As you can tell, that brick is very old. It has started to, I don't know, maybe that's just the way it was made. It looks like it has started to deteriorate, but it could be that those bricks were just not necessarily cooked. They were just formed and let set in the sun, and that's the way they turned out. That's a beautiful old building. They all are. They all have their own characteristics, their own design, their own style. And these continue. All of the sidewalk has dedications in the pavers here. Yeah, I assume that was someone home at some point. Walk up here, the windows are falling out. Let's check this out. That old TV. Fireplace with the mantle. Tongue and groove siding on the wall. There's been a house much more recently. It has ceiling fans and what have you in it, but it's an old building. A lot of these places are no longer used or no longer in service, but they still have the old names. I've driven through here several times, but I've never ever stopped and walked the sidewalks. You get an entirely different perspective when you get out and walk the streets and look at it up close. Driving through, you miss a lot, but when you stop and look and just, you know, look at the detail, look at those doors. Look at the, I can just imagine how beautiful they were originally when they were, if they were painted, or even if, you know, they were wood, but they had the glass. They have filled in because the glass has been broken out over the years, but those are some beautiful doors. Wow. Well, we've been around the square and seen the original downtown. I'm going to walk around a little bit and look down the street, see what else we can see. Just off the square here are the remains of a building. Hopefully nobody's going to say anything if I walk around here, but I can't see over the wall, but I'm going to extend my GoPro up. I can look over in there. Y'all can see, and I'll see it later, but the remains of the inside of an old building. Go around, take a look at the front of it. See what the front looks like. Another view of this church, kind of on the back side here. There's some beautiful old homes along the street here. I'm not going to go too much on these houses. They are people living there. Beautiful old bell here in the town square. Not dated. doesn't have any information. It just says steel alloy alarm bell. I don't know why I was not expecting it to be quite so loud. Anyway, so we rang the bell. That's just about going to do it for today. Hope y'all enjoy this walk around in Greenville, Georgia. I reached 150 subscribers the other day, and for me that is a huge milestone. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed. I really appreciate it, and it means the world to me. It makes me want to continue and try to do better and put out more videos and showcase more places. I just want to say thank y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, keep exploring. I'm Red, and thanks again.